Hello, it's Who Time, and today we're looking at a wonderful custom figure that would have been impossible without the Doctor Who fanbase taking matters into their own hands and helping each other out. Today we're looking at the Teller from Series 8 Bank Heist Caper Homage, Time Heist. This is an insanely beautiful and flawlessly accurate recreation. I'm not praising myself here. Well, I am. Obviously, I love the paint job, but we're actually talking about the insane sculpt. Molto bene. Before we go into this custom figure further, let's take a look at the Teller in action.
Excuse me, sir. I regret to say that your guilt has been detected. The Teller is never wrong when it comes to guilt. He's in agony. Look at him.
Without tears, Clara, that's soup.
Awesome, eh? Sorry, I couldn't help but play that clip in a video about the Teller. Just love that bit. Makes me hungry as well. Noodle soup.
That's fine, but the line is soup.
Sorry, right. Soup. I mean noodle soup. Oh, damn it. Anyway, that's enough about soup. Here is the Teller custom figure again in all his glory. He's a beauty. I'm really pleased with my paint job. Sorry to toot my own horn, but I think it pretty accurately follows the colour scheme of the on-screen character. Plus, it brings out the detail, the phenomenal sculpt, and gives the Teller's head, legs and feet a real organic quality, bringing him to life. So, how did this custom figure come to be? How did it become this? How did it get here? Well, this is where the magical Doctor Who fanbase comes in. This Teller kit was made by the super talented Nathan Ward of NDW Designs. Nathan works alongside his partner in crime, Helleno Souza, to produce many Doctor Who custom figure heads. On this occasion, for the first time, they worked together to make an entire figure. Helleno Souza performed dark magic and rendered the Teller's head and neck piece in a 3D printable format. Mr. Nathan Ward, of course, then printed these, but also went to the great effort to sculpt the entire body. This was done entirely freehand and with astonishing detail. Once this was complete, he then created a mold to then allow resin copies to be made of the body. And naturally, I bought the kit off him and it arrived in 3 parts: the head, the neck piece, and the body. As soon as he arrived, I thought, I've got to paint this now. So I started off painting the base colours. Now from here on, I'm going to be mentioning paint names from one specific range of paints. And that's the Games Workshop / Warhammer / Citadel, is what it actually says on the pots. I think it's a phenomenal paint range with a lot of variety. You've got your base colours, you've got your layers, you've got your dry brush stuff, you've got your textured paints. Yeah, fantastic. Definitely recommend that. So yes, just so you're aware, all the names are from that paint range. Right, so how did I paint it? Let's get into it. So first I started off painting the straight jacket in a Jokero orange and the skin parts in Bugman's Glow. These were the base colours. This is the base layer. I also painted the metal restraint bracket on the back and the neck ring piece in Red Belcher. After that I adjusted some of the blemishes on the straight jacket with some Milliput, because of course when you pull a cast out of a mould it doesn't always come out, seamlessly, so I smoothed those out. Then I focused on the beautiful head sculpt. I mixed some Abaddon Black and Calidor Sky, it's a blue, to create a dark blue skin colour to dry brush over the top of the Bugman's Glow, which is acting as a base colour, making sure to leave the more peachy flesh tones of the Bugman's Glow in the recesses of the eye stalks, around the eyes, and in the folds and creases of the skin. As for the brain up top, I added some Carroburg Crimson, that's a shade / wash, to bring out those details in the recesses of the brain. Then I lightly dry brush some Screaming Skull over the top to get a more brain-like colour and also highlight the detail of the brain. As for the eyes, I painted the whole eyeball in a base colour of Xandri Dust, then added a circular iris in the middle of each eye in Screaming Skull, before lastly adding a horizontal slit for the pupil in Abaddon Black. Before painting other areas, I dry brushed Dawnstone, that's a grey colour, all over the head, which brought out all the details in the sculpt, plus lightened up the colour of the head for greater accuracy. Later I realised I could make this look more organic by putting some gloss over the top. So I added some technical hard coat as it's called, which darkened the skin tone, but it gave it a more living, breathing creature look. I then dry brushed more Dawnstone over the top to brighten up the head again to get that colour that I wanted back to where it was. Next I painted his toenails in Screaming Skull and then stuck some dark brown wash over the top. So in my case I used Reichland Flesh shade, but you can also use Agrax as shade as well. After that I painted on the Troll Slayer orange over the top of the Jacaro orange on the straitjacket and added some Iron Hand steel to the neck ring and the metal bracket on the back. I also painted all the straitjacket straps in Balthasar gold. I then added some Nuln oil wash onto all of this. The orange straitjacket and its straps, the metal restraint bracket at the back, and the neck ring to highlight the indentations, grooves and textures. Last but not least, I painted the centre strip of the straps in a Baden black. So it's done now, right? No. My inner perfectionist said to me, this isn't complete until you add chains. And I went, oh, okay brain, alright. So I rummaged around in my man box of tools and spares and found some bendy steel wire, some circular rings and a bit of chain. Then I milliputted some diamond shaped buckles on top of the straps, cut some small bits of the bendy wire, shaped them into hoops and stuck them into the putty along with a circular ring and left it to dry. Fortunately it solidified and the chains remained in place. I just then painted the milliputted diamond buckles in lead belcher and Iron Hand steel with a bit of Nuln oil and it was done. I'm so pleased with the result. I'm really chuffed with him. Here he is against the on-screen counterpart. I think I've really captured the colour scheme. It's mainly his skin tone that's difficult to get right, as it looks darker in some shots than others. Just for comparison, here is the teller next to the 12th Doctor from Time Heist. You can see not only is the teller beautifully accurately sculpted, but the scaling is also pinpoint. He towers over Capaldi here. Also, just for comparison, here is my previous Teller custom figure. I didn't actually make this one. He was made by a lovely chap called Rob White. You can see he shares a lot of the same details with the straps and chains. He just lacks the more precise sculpt work and the scaling is a bit off, which means he's a little short. If you want to learn more about this custom and other 12th Doctor era custom figures that I have, go check out my vid from a while back. Link will be on the screen and in the description. This astonishing new Teller was a very limited release. Only 30 pieces were made, so I'm very honoured and privileged to have a copy, to have one of them. Sadly, there aren't plans for a re-release. As I said before, he was produced by Nathan Ward of NDW Designs. He does loads of custom pieces, mainly custom figure heads. For example, the Tetrap I've got here, the Kablam Man, Silurian. He's done loads. I've got loads sitting on my table waiting to be turned into customs. And he has so much more planned as well. So keep an eye on his Etsy page for the latest releases. And also join the dedicated Facebook page for up-to-date news on upcoming releases and interacting with other customizers. He also has a YouTube channel called Dalek Idea where he often posts videos on how best to paint the custom heads he has produced. All the useful links for the aforementioned will of course be in the description. And that's your lot. Don't forget to like and comment on this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps out. Also go and click on that bell for notifications of new content. And if you want more, go follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @WhoTimeUK. I've got Insta as well. Similarly, that's instagram.com/WhoTimeUK. Until next time guys and gals, see ya.